Words have power. The right compliment respecting a woman's mind is one of the most powerful forms of appreciation she can receive because it goes far beyond surface level praise. When someone genuinely values her thoughts, ideas, and perspective, it sends a clear message she is seen as a complete human being, not just for how she looks or how she fits into someone else's expectations. This kind of compliment acknowledges her ability to think independently, analyze situations, and form opinions based on her own experiences and understanding. It creates a sense of dignity and emotional safety that many people deeply value. When a woman hears that her mind is respected, it validates the effort she has put into learning, growing, and understanding the world around her. It recognizes her curiosity, her intelligence, and her willingness to question, reflect, and improve. This is especially meaningful because many people go through life feeling unheard or talked over. A sincere acknowledgement of her thoughts tells her that her voice matters and that her ideas are worth listening to, even when they differ from others. Respecting her mind also means listening without trying to dominate the conversation or immediately correct her. It involves asking thoughtful questions, considering her viewpoint seriously, and being open to learning from her. This shows emotional maturity and confidence because true confidence does not feel threatened by another person's intelligence. Instead, it appreciates it. Such respect builds mutual understanding and strengthens communication, whether in personal, professional, or everyday interactions. This compliment also encourages growth. When someone knows their thinking is valued, they feel more confident expressing themselves, sharing ideas, and engaging in meaningful discussions. It creates an environment where curiosity and learning are welcomed rather than judged. Over time, this kind of respect fosters trust and balance because it is rooted in equality rather than control. Ultimately, respecting a woman's mind is a reflection of wisdom. It shows an understanding that real connection is built through conversation, understanding, and shared insight. Words that honor her intellect do not fade quickly. They stay with her because they touch something deeper than appearance. They affirm her worth, her capability, and her place in the world as someone whose thoughts truly matter. Recognizing how a woman handles challenges with grace is a deeply meaningful form of appreciation because it acknowledges strength that is often invisible. Life presents difficulties in many forms: personal struggles, responsibilities, setbacks, and moments of uncertainty, and navigating these moments requires patience, emotional control, and resilience. When someone notices and appreciates the calm, dignity, and balance she maintains during tough times, it reassures her that her efforts are seen and valued, not taken for granted. Grace under pressure does not mean a lack of pain or struggle. It means continuing forward despite them. Complementing this quality honors the courage it takes to remain composed while carrying emotional weight. It recognizes that strength is not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it is quiet endurance, thoughtful decision-making, and choosing not to react impulsively. Such acknowledgement validates her inner strength and reminds her that perseverance itself is worthy of respect. This kind of compliment also reflects emotional intelligence. It shows an understanding that everyone faces hardships, but not everyone responds to them with patience and self-control. By appreciating how she manages challenges, the focus shifts from the problem to her character. It highlights her ability to adapt, learn, and grow instead of being defined by difficulties. This builds confidence and reinforces a positive self-image rooted in capability rather than perfection. When her grace is recognized, it creates emotional safety. She feels less pressure to appear flawless and more freedom to be authentic. Knowing that her effort, not just the outcome, is respected encourages honesty and openness. It strengthens communication and trust because it shows empathy rather than judgment. Such appreciation tells her that even in moments of struggle, she is admired, not diminished. Over time, hearing that her resilience is noticed can be empowering. It reminds her of her own strength during moments when she may feel tired or uncertain. Words that honor her ability to handle challenges with grace serve as quiet encouragement, reinforcing the belief that she can face future difficulties with the same dignity. Ultimately, this compliment speaks to character, depth, and emotional maturity, qualities that leave a lasting impact and nurture self-respect. Acknowledging that a woman knows who she is a powerful form of appreciation because it recognizes self-awareness, confidence, and inner clarity. In a world full of expectations, opinions, and constant comparison, reaching a place of understanding one's own identity takes time and effort. This kind of compliment honors the journey she has taken to understand her values, strengths, limits, and priorities, rather than trying to become someone else to gain approval. Knowing who she is means she is comfortable with her individuality. She is not easily shaken by trends, pressure, or external validation. When this quality is noticed, it affirms her ability to stand firm in her beliefs while still remaining open-minded. It communicates respect for her emotional maturity and her capacity to make decisions that align with her true self, even when those choices are not the easiest or most popular ones. This recognition also highlights healthy boundaries. A woman who knows who she is understands what she accepts and what she does not. She values her time, energy, and emotional well-being. Complementing this self-knowledge reassures her that she does not need to explain or justify herself constantly. It reinforces the idea that clarity is a strength, not arrogance, and that self-respect is something to be admired. Such appreciation can be deeply grounding. It tells her that her authenticity is seen and valued, not challenged or dismissed. Many people feel pressure to constantly adapt to fit into different spaces, but being recognized for knowing who she is allows her to feel safe, being consistent and genuine. This kind of acknowledgement encourages her to continue trusting her instincts and honoring her inner voice. Over time, hearing that her sense of identity is respected strengthens confidence from within. It reminds her that growth does not mean losing herself, but understanding herself better. This compliment reflects wisdom because it values depth over surface, stability over approval, and authenticity over performance. Words that affirm her self-awareness linger because they validate something lasting, her ability to stand confidently in her own truth and move through life with purpose and clarity. Appreciating a woman's values is a meaningful form of respect because values are the foundation of character. They guide decisions, shape behavior, and influence how a person treats others even when no one is watching. When someone acknowledges and respects her principles such as honesty, kindness, discipline, loyalty, or responsibility, it affirms that who she is at her core truly matters. This kind of appreciation goes beyond temporary traits and speaks to something deeply rooted and enduring. Values are often developed through experience, reflection, and sometimes hardship. Recognizing them shows an understanding that her character did not form overnight. It honors the choices she makes daily, including the sacrifices she may accept to stay true to what she believes is right. This acknowledgement reassures her that integrity is noticed even in a world that often prioritizes convenience over principles. When her values are appreciated, it creates a sense of emotional safety. She feels less pressure to compromise or explain herself. Knowing that her moral compass is respected allows her to remain authentic and consistent without fear of being misunderstood or judged. It also reinforces mutual respect, because valuing someone's principles means accepting them as they are, not trying to change them to fit personal preferences. This kind of compliment also highlights maturity and depth. It reflects an understanding that strong values bring stability, trust, and balance into any interaction. Appreciating her principles sends the message that reliability and character are more important than surface-level qualities. It encourages meaningful connection rooted in respect rather than attraction or convenience. Over time, hearing that her values are seen and respected strengthens her confidence in staying true to herself. It reassures her that integrity is not invisible and that consistency has worth. Such recognition encourages continued growth because when values are honored, they are reinforced. Ultimately, appreciating a woman's values is an acknowledgement of her inner strength and moral clarity. These words leave a lasting impression because they affirm what truly defines her, her character, her choices, and the principles she lives by every day. Noticing and appreciating the calm energy a woman brings into the lives of those around her is a powerful form of recognition because it speaks to emotional stability and maturity. In a world that often feels chaotic, unpredictable, and overwhelming, the ability to remain composed, thoughtful, and grounded is rare and invaluable. Complimenting her for this quality acknowledges that her presence contributes to balance, comfort, and a sense of safety both for herself and for the people she interacts with. It highlights a subtle strength that is often overlooked, one that does not demand attention but quietly influences the atmosphere around her. Calmness is not the absence of emotions, challenges, or stress. It is the ability to navigate them without being swept away. When a woman demonstrates patience, thoughtful decision-making, and a steady demeanor in difficult situations, it reflects self-awareness and self-control. Recognizing this quality shows that someone sees the effort she invests in maintaining composure, understanding that it is not easy to stay centered when life presents obstacles. This acknowledgement validates her emotional intelligence and the discipline required to remain balanced under pressure. Appreciating her calming presence also communicates that she is valued for more than surface level qualities. It signals that her character, influence, and the way she interacts with others matter deeply. Her ability to bring peace into tense or stressful situations can inspire confidence, trust, and admiration. When someone points out that her energy is grounding, it reinforces her sense of impact and importance, showing that her presence has a tangible positive effect on the world around her. This compliment also encourages self-reflection and self-respect. Knowing that her calm and steady nature is recognized reassures her that these qualities are not unnoticed or undervalued. It strengthens her confidence in maintaining her composure and encourages her to continue cultivating inner peace. Moreover, this recognition fosters deeper connections because calm energy often draws trust and openness from others, creating an environment where meaningful communication and mutual understanding can flourish. Ultimately, highlighting the calm she brings into interactions reflects appreciation for depth, wisdom, and emotional maturity. It goes beyond physical attributes or temporary charm, honoring the stability and serenity she contributes to relationships and her surroundings. Words that acknowledge her calming presence linger because they validate something enduring and profound: her ability to create peace, offer balance, and positively influence the energy of those around her, making her a source of quiet strength and reassurance. Reassuring a woman that she doesn't need to prove herself is a deeply empowering form of appreciation because it affirms her intrinsic worth. In a society that constantly measures people against standards, expectations, and comparisons, many women feel pressure to perform, impress, or justify their value. Acknowledging that she is enough exactly as she is validates her existence beyond accomplishments, appearances, or external validation. This kind of compliment emphasizes self-acceptance, confidence, and emotional security, reminding her that her worth is inherent and not conditional. When a woman hears that she doesn't need to prove herself, it relieves the silent burden of constant performance. It allows her to step back from the endless cycle of trying to meet societal expectations or the opinions of others. This acknowledgement communicates respect for her authenticity and reassures her that her presence, personality, and character are already valued. It reinforces the understanding that she does not need to earn admiration through comparison or competition because she is already deserving of respect simply by being herself. Such a compliment also encourages emotional freedom. When someone affirms that she doesn't need to justify herself, it creates a safe space for honesty, vulnerability, and self-expression. She can share her thoughts, feelings, and ideas without fear of judgment or needing to meet anyone's standards. This reassurance fosters stronger, more meaningful connections because relationships built on acceptance rather than performance are deeper and more authentic. Recognizing that she doesn't need to prove herself also strengthens self-confidence. It reinforces the idea that her value is stable, not dependent on external achievements or approval. This kind of acknowledgement allows her to focus on personal growth, exploration, and fulfillment rather than constantly seeking validation. Over time, hearing this message nurtures self-respect and reinforces a positive self-image rooted in authenticity. Moreover, this compliment reflects wisdom and maturity. It shows that the person giving it understands the pressures women face and values their identity beyond surface-level accomplishments. It communicates an appreciation for depth, character, and individuality rather than superficial traits. Words that affirm her sufficiency linger because they provide comfort, encouragement, and a sense of emotional security. Ultimately, telling a woman she doesn't need to prove herself honors her existence, her choices, and her authenticity. It celebrates her as a whole, complete person and reminds her that she is already enough. This recognition empowers her to live with confidence, act with freedom, and embrace life on her own terms, creating a lasting sense of validation and inner strength. Spoken with sincerity and maturity can uplift confidence, create emotional safety, and leave a lasting impact. True admiration is not about charm or age, it's about wisdom, respect, and emotional intelligence. Today, we explore the kind of compliments women truly value when they come from a place of experience, stability, and genuine understanding.